Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Before it was a special treat. Now we're getting back to the business, the meat. We're going to go back to dissecting the Quran, the perfect Quran. But before we do that, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't have an intro. Alrighty now, don't forget, hit the like, share button. I'm trying to get up to 1,000. And we're back again. We got Sister Darcy, we got Paul, probably have a few more people. And let me get rid of this. I need to do an extra. Instead of an intro, I need to do an extra. Remove. Okay, I got that. Let me load up another copy of the Quran so we can look at the, so you don't have to switch. Here we go. Come on. Oh, okay. That didn't work. Control A, Control C. I'm using my new trackball. Okay. And I think you said you were in chapter 29, so I got to go to chapter 30. The Byzantines, and then got to go up a few. Oh, there's only 6. Okay. All right. Are we ready to rock and roll? Let's add Paul to the stream. Here we go. Let's make it smaller on the bottom so we can see our handsome faces. Well, at least Paul's face. We're incognito. Okay. If anybody is on the chat, wants to
I'll
come
let you
up.
know.
Okay. Okay, we got you, we got me, we got Darcy, so we got room for 3 more. Okay, let's get the show on the road. All right, got to read the intro. Notice Muhammad considered Haman and Korah to be Egyptian. Also notice that the 4 punishments are given to 3 people. Oh, okay. All right, 39. And Quran and Pharaoh and Haman, and indeed Moses came to them with the proofs. Boy, I don't know what they were. So they became proud on the earth, and they were not ahead. Not ahead of what? So they were not
Lack
ahead.
of clarity already.
I know. Well, there's been a few verses that I gotta say Allah was on point. He kind of made some sense, but man, it didn't take long. All right, 40. So we seized each one with his sin. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but that's okay.
How do you seize people by their sin? I mean,
don't know.
what is sin something you can actually physically grab hold of?
I guess.
I mean, and this is the part that Allah doesn't get. If Allah's God, he's pure, and those two things don't come in contact. You don't have pure and something impure touching. It doesn't work. But okay, Allah doesn't know that. He likes to touch sin. So now you know he's Satan.
Or it could be he made them.
That's another thing you sit there and wonder about.
I mean, he does make you sin.
But that's something sin. That's something that Satan does.
Right. Now I did post a link on Skype, so if we're at any other ones coming. Okay, so we seized each one with his sin. Some of them we sent on him, some of them a hailstorm. Okay, so he starts off with a plural, them, and then he goes to a singular. And some of them were seized by the shout. Well, if trying to figure out how you can seize somebody by his sin wasn't bad enough, now I'm trying to figure out how do you seize somebody by a shout? Was Allah like Tarzan and he was shouting, ah? And some of them we sank. Okay, here we go again. And some of them we sank him into the earth. Now, Paul, you're a teacher.
Quicksand.
You're a teacher. English is not my native language. Does that make sense? And some of them, plural, we sank him into the earth. And some of them we drowned. Who's he talking about? He only talked about 3 people. Quran, Pharaoh, Haman.
Where are they getting that? Again, this is the Essel issue. Some of them. That's not even Essel. And then English is a second. I mean, not Arabic is a second language issue. This is. It doesn't sound like Allah knows what he's talking about, or like he's had a huge brain fart. So they became proud. So the people above became proud. They were not ahead. So we seized each one with a sin. Okay, so now you're down to singulars again. So some of them we sent on him. We don't know where the hailstorm comes from. I have no clue what this hailstorm is.
Yeah.
And some
Brad
of
is
them we sank.
backstage.
Okay, hold on a second. I wish StreamYard would have a feature where you can have like
A note or like a ding.
yeah, like or like an admin or a co-host or something where
You can do that. You have to pay for it though.
oh, okay. Maybe
Yeah, that's added.
maybe when I reach my 1,000, I might be able to splurge. Okay, but notice another problem, Paul. Besides the fact that Allah goes from a plural to a singular, he's referring to 3 people. Now I see why Osama says that there's 3 people, but he gives out 4 punishments, right? Because we see 1, 2,
3.
3. Now he's not going to punish Moses because that's his messenger. But then we go over here. So some of them we sent on him a hailstorm. That's 1. And some of them were seized by the shout. That's 2. And some of them we sank him into the earth. That's 3. And some of them we drowned. That's 4. Who are these people? Now, I understand that he's trying to...
That's his simulation of the 10 plagues.
Right. But we don't know that.
You won't know that from believing. I mean,
right.
He doesn't have a clue. It sounds like they're all different groups of people. But that just shows you Allah doesn't know what happened. Some of them, I mean, it's like they don't get the concept that the plagues were on the entire country of Egypt. I mean,
now, if this is referring
to... say not on the entire country. It was
right.
only on the Egyptians.
Now, we know that this is talking about the Egyptians because it's got Pharaoh. It's got Quran.
Well, actually, we don't know that from reading this.
Well, I mean,
it sounds like somewhere on Quran, maybe somewhere on Pharaoh, maybe somewhere on Haman, but we know it's not on Moses.
But we can assume that this is Pharaoh, so this is the Egyptians and Moses. But then, who was it? Was there some kind of plague where people sank into the earth? What does that mean?
It's really... This is just disjointed of this, like I think it was Rad saying earlier that they bought scriptures and the Jews were probably sitting there laughing at them when they're buying them.
They're like, man.
I mean, it could be. I mean, hey, let's make a good laugh here. let's wait till he repeats it 100 years in the future, and everybody will be laughing.
Make some money while we're at it, because this guy is just dumb. Okay, and Allah was not to treat them unjustly, but they were treating themselves unjustly. How does that work? All right. Muhammad claims that the spider web is a frail house. This is an error. It is on record that a spider web is strong enough to capture hummingbirds and will hold them long enough for the spider to kill and eat them. Now, we also know that on a size per size, I think, if that's the correct word. Uh, a spider, a spider web or the silk of a spider is stronger than steel.
Yes, yes.
So that doesn't sound frail to me. All right, 41. Okay, the parable of those who took friends without Allah is like the ankabut, number 6. Spider. Okay, well, Allah couldn't say damn spider.
Wait. What language is Ankabut in?
I'm sorry.
What language is Ankabut in?
Oh, let me see. What does he say?
It sounds
Aramaic.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
So Allah doesn't know he's speaking in Aramaic now. Oh.
Or Allah doesn't know that there's probably an Arabic word for spider, unless maybe they wasn't. And a parable of those who took friends without Allah is like the spider that took a house. I'm not aware of spiders having houses, but that's okay.
You know, I've yet to see that, a spider having a house.
I wouldn't
Maybe a
call,
nest type thing
yeah, I
in the
wouldn't
web,
call
but
a spider web a house.
that doesn't work.
Okay, and surely the frailest of all the houses is the house of the spider. Now, if number 6 means spider, but we have spider here, why didn't Allah use spider up here?
Because Allah isn't that bright. I mean, I don't know.
And surely the frailest of all houses is the house of the spider, if they were knowing. Okay. Surely Allah
they?
knew. I'm sorry.
Who's they?
Allah is evolving.
I have
The
no.
parable of those who took friends with Allah is like the spider. If they, who's the friends? It doesn't make any. Allah doesn't know what parable means. We know that because he never makes any sense. But
Okay,
if they were knowing, I mean that means that says pretty much okay that we're done telling the parable now. If they were knowing,
yeah.
and it doesn't make. I mean, lack of clarity here.
Okay, so 42. Surely Allah knows what they call on of anything without him, and he is the dear, the wise.
See, I was right. The parable is done.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
And these are the parables we inform to the people, and no one will understand it except the learned.
Wait a minute. I'm pretty learned. So
Yeah,
where does
me
that?
too.
Okay. Post grad work. I mean, come on.
I mean, my IQ is pretty up there, Okay, so Rand says he's here, but he's already here. Okay. Allah created the heavens and the earth with the truth, surely, and this is a sign to the believers. Again, Allah likes to go from heavens to heaven. Okay. All right, what does Osama say? Prayer alone can wipe away sin. Muslims must believe in the Bible. This is another proof of the infallibility of the Bible in Muhammad's day. Note that verse 46 is abrogated. We see all Muslim scholars' interpretation. Oh, I'm sorry, see all Muslim scholars' interpretation. Okay, 45. Recite what has been revealed to you from the book. What book? I am sure this is the Allah's book that's in his iPad in the 7 heavens. And perform the prayer. What prayer? Surely the prayer wipes out the indecency and the evil, and the remembrance of Allah is bigger.
Okay, so we have a problem. Surely the prayer. We don't know. I think that's a big problem. The prayer wipes out indecency and evil. So if he thinks this is a problem, if he thinks men's actions get rid of evil and sin, then what use is Allah?
Right.
I mean, so Allah exists for no reason at all. I mean, why do you need to go to Allah? Because you don't really need to go to Allah at all. If your works get you there.
You still got to pray to Allah.
But
yeah.
Okay, it says, but it's a man's action.
Right.
But we don't know. I mean, again, this, the big thing to pick on here is these are supposed to be the words of Allah, correct?
Right. That's
Okay,
what they
so
say.
Surely the prayer wipes out. We don't know who they're praying to. We don't know.
And we don't know what prayer. Is it
And
the
can you imagine this? You have Allah saying, and the remembrance of Allah is bigger. Is there an Allah above Allah?
I mean, it could be.
And Allah knows what you do.
This
Who cares
also
at this point?
this also brings into the forefront the hadith that the black stone is going to have a tongue in the mountain testify. And I think there's also a hadith that says the kissing the black stone wipes away the sins.
Mm. So could kissing a stone be considered a prayer?
I mean, the stone is probably going, yeah, man, give me that tongue. Give me that tongue. Allah, you see that guy over there? He didn't know how to tongue me.
And if you actually watch people, as much as it sounds nasty what he's saying about giving the tongue, that's actually what people do. If you can watch videos of this. But they do lick the black stone. Ugh.
I mean, think about it. If somebody kissed that stone and they have some kind of disease,
yep, and they're
you
passing
got
it on.
all these people kissing afterwards.
They actually have those kind of problems that you're talking about.
I wouldn't doubt it.
That's what happened during COVID, by the way.
I would not doubt it. Probably why they closed Mecca down. Say, you guys are going to be spreading that.
They already were. They already were. So that's one of the reasons why it shut down.
Okay, and the remembrance of Allah is bigger than what? You can't just say and the remembrance of Allah is bigger than what? And Allah knows what you do. Okay, Allah, what am I doing right now? Come on, tell me, Allah. And do not dispute with the people of the book except with what is good, except to those who have done injustices among them, and say,
we don't know what the injustices are.
So I guess you're supposed to dispute with the people that have done injustices among them and say, we believed in what has been sent down to us and has been sent down to you, but we don't know what that is. And
okay,
our
so
gods,
if he's talking to Jews, we believe in what's been sent down to you. Okay, so what if what's been sent down to the Jews tells everyone that what's being sent to the followers or the lovers of Sharia, that's a serious issue here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Oops, that's the wrong one. That.
I like that one. Drag Allah.
Let me put the link one more time.
Wait. Hold on. Okay. Clearly, the indecency and the evil is not believing in Allah and His Messenger, subhanallah. Okay? Because and the injustice is not believing in Allah and His subhanallah prophet. Okay? So clearly you kafir are getting it all wrong. Okay? And ultimately here, this is a beautiful Quran verse, and you're reading it in the English and not in the pure Arabic, which is Allah's speech. Okay?
Because Allah is limited in His ability to communicate. Yes, that's true.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. We got Sheikh Rad. We're gonna have to call him. We're gonna have to call him either Sheikh Rad or Iman Rad.
I am Imam Ibn Kafir. Yeah, Sheikh. Yeah,
we're gonna call him Imam Rad the footnote.
Yes, there we go.
Okay, and our God and your God is one, and we are Muslims to Him. Okay, whatever you say.
So we are submitters to Him.
Yeah.
You notice what's not there? The rest of the Shahada.
There you go. Those who reject the Quran are infidels. Well, that puts all of us here into that category.
Yeah.
That puts all of the westernized Muslims in that category. Because
pretty much.
I was messaged. I think I shared that with you guys by a Muslim who, by the way, is producing music videos or music rap songs or something like that. And I actually said, dude, music is haram. And he says, I know it's haram, but my family's got to eat. I'm like, okay, you're not following the Quran, dude. Okay,
Yeah,
they
but-
don't follow. But hold on. So you asked me. He's like, does Eric teach Paul about Islam? And I'm like, no. We all learn about Islam from the Quran, the Hadiths, the Tafsirs, the Sirat, and all the legal books. Like for instance, Shafi and Malawi. Anyway, we learn about Islam from the actual Islamic sources. Those sources that you all ignore. You don't. They don't follow this crap. They can't follow this crap. Okay, they reject their own sources. Okay, they reject their own religion, and that's the thing that drives me crazy about these westernized Muslims who have their own version of Islam. Okay, that is completely. I mean, seriously, we need to do a GoFundMe page for these westernized Muslims that are telling us what Muslims are actually practicing in Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Egypt, and all over the rest of the world where they've been practicing, living, breathing Islam, that they've been doing it all wrong. Have them go do dawah to them. Don't do dawah to us. Go do dawah to actual Muslims until they got it all absolutely wrong. I would like to see that, but you know, they know they'll be killed, so they don't want to do it.
You got to see the Muslims on Clubhouse, the Quranists versus the Sunni and the Shiites. That is funny.
Oh, they'll kill each other.
Well, you know, if they were face to face, yeah.
Which I'm okay with, you know, either way.
All right, 47. And likewise, we sent the book down to you. We don't know what this book is, but let's assume it's talking to Muhammad. So those we gave them the book. Those who? We sent down the book, so those we gave them the book. I don't know who them is.
Wait a minute. That's kind of really unclear. We sent down a book, so those we gave them the book. Why? It's like repeating itself twice. I mean,
Well, in a way, yes, but we know that the first part of the sentence is telling us that Allah sent the book down to a person. But then he goes on to say, so those, we don't know who those are, we gave them the book. Now, I believe that those would be...
Okay, so you have a you, and then you have those, so there's different groups of people.
Yeah, I guess he's referring to the people of the book. But it wouldn't be a book, it would be books, because the Jews have their book and we have our book. Now, granted, both books are in the same book, but, you know, the Jews don't have the New Testament in their books. And believe in it, and some of those who believe, okay, all right. So those we gave them the book, believe in it, and some of those who believe in it. What?
Wait a minute. So if the people of the followers of Islam, known here as Muslims, believe in it, the books given to the Jews. Wait a minute. How do we know this is even the Quran from just reading? I mean, I know Osama says those who reject the Quran are infidels as the subject. We can't tell from reading this that this is the Quran without that header there. Wow.
Okay, so I guess what Allah is saying is believe in the book and those who believe in the book. All right, I fixed it for Allah. And no one disbelieves in our verses except the infidels. But wait a minute, I believe in my book. I don't believe in your book, Allah, because it confuses the crap out of my brain cells.
You know what's funny about this? Why would you believe anything with the copy-paste writer?
I know. I mean, after reading that 1 hour show that I did, if you still believe that the Quran is miraculous and it's divine and it's from Allah, I got a beachfront property that I'm selling in Arkansas.
Yep, and the
At a
next
good
verse
price,
says
at a
it's
good
written with
price.
the left hand.
I mean, I'm selling it at a generous price. 10 camels, you can have it. Okay, and okay, and you were not reciting any book before it, and you did not write it with your right hand. Okay.
Well,
Then
good.
the liars
I
would
can't.
die. That doesn't make sense.
Wrote it
You know
with
what
his
it
left
is?
My
hand.
left hand.
Somebody wrote with their left hand, and that bothers Allah.
Okay, and
Ooh.
you were not reciting any book before.
Testing
Okay?
1, 2.
And you did
We can
not
hear you.
write it with your right hand, period. Then the liars would doubt. Okay, but see, okay. Yet it's clear verses. What clear verses? Have anybody, we're 29 chapters into this book. These verses are not clear. Okay.
That's why I keep saying he's got to compensate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's clear versus we still don't know what they mean by chess. I mean, are they talking about chests of, do you put gold in, or are we talking about the chests of women? We don't know if that's what they're. I'm. It's clear verses in the chests of those. That would imply it's persons of those who have gained knowledge. So, okay. So again, if we're using chest as the human reference, chest of those who have gained knowledge, and no one disbelieves our verses except the unjust. Wait a minute. If everyone who listens to you say something, doesn't believe you, you know, it could be because you're unclear. Yeah.
Could be. Okay. Muhammad offered no signs as proof except the Quran. And they said, were it not that signs are sent down on him. Oh, that's gotta hurt. From his Lord, were it not that signs that doesn't make any sense.
Well,
It
this
kind of
implies that
negates.
signs were sent down. We don't know what the signs are.
Okay, that's one of the miracles of the Quran. Say, surely the signs are only with Allah.
Wait a minute. So this backs up what Leah said earlier. If the signs are only with Allah, Allah needs signs?
Well, I think it's trying to say that Allah is the only one that can give signs.
No, it's actually saying the opposite.
I know.
Signs, it's showing that Allah needs signs. That's kind of scary.
Well, my tafsir says that Muhammad is telling the people who apparently just questioned him, where are your signs? Why haven't any signs been sent down on you from your Lord? And Muhammad says, surely the signs are only with Allah. And surely I am only a clear warner. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout this whole Quran, not one verse does Muhammad say, I am a prophet. He clearly says that I'm a warner, or somebody is a warner.
If he says he's only a clear warner, then he can't even be a messenger, which is something to think about, because a messenger just confirms words.
Yeah, but in Islam, anything goes. A prophet doesn't mean a prophet. A messenger doesn't mean a messenger. You can be a messenger and a prophet, but you can't be a prophet and a messenger. So I guess you can be a warner and a messenger, but you can't be a prophet.
A prophet can be
a warner.
They could almost take this passage here and claim that he's these references to being a warner could be a reference. That could be a reference to being a prophet. So actually, if they're going to use that, there's nothing specific that says Allah is a prophet. Nothing.
Right.
This is the closest they get. And to claim you're even under Judaism, this would not be considered a sign of being. It's claiming to be a warner would. I mean, that could be somebody that stands outside outside the city walls or on the city gate and says, "Oh, look, somebody's coming." Yeah, it's not the same.
I mean, could be. All right, so we go to 51. Is it not sufficient for them that we have sent down the book on you?
Ouch.
To be recited to them. But wait a minute. Muhammad didn't get a book. Why does Allah keep referencing that Muhammad was sent a book when he never had a book? Does Allah not know the definition of a book?
That's another possibility.
I mean, a book is something tangible. It's physical. You can hold it between your hands. Muhammad never held a book. Now, he could have held the Torah.
I have an idea here. It could be that the authors of this Quran, if we're talking about this time they wanted everyone to they created this Quran and then referred to it as a book so people would believe that. I mean, okay, it's got to be a perfect book because it refers to itself before it's even written. Yeah, like that's kind of crazy. No matter how we
anything goes. Okay, surely in this is a mercy and a reminder to a believing person. Say Allah is sufficient witness between me and you. Okay, but how is Allah going to be a witness? Because he would have to come down and be a witness. He knows what is in the heavens. Now we're back to the heavens and the earth. And those who believed in the vanities and became infidels in Allah, those are the losers. That would be us.
happy infidel here.
I'm happy to be a loser, even if I don't get my 72 hoes. I'm pretty sure all those Muslims that blew themselves up, they're going to get 72 luscious, translucent grapes. What a disappointment, Paul. What a disappointment.
Can you imagine? Oh, it'd be so disgusting.
They'll be like, seriously, dude, I blew myself up and you giving me a bunch of grapes? Where's my 72 hoes with the big booty?
Well, it's worse if you're looking at the description of the hories. Oh my gosh. Translucent, you can see their bones and their blood vessels.
That's why it's really grapes, because they're translucent and you can see the seeds, which would be the marrow.
It's still as horrible as it sounds. That's even better.
53, and they hasten you with the torment. And they hasten you with the torment. Who's they? Who's they that's doing the tormenting?
Well, that might be too much for Allah.
Okay. And were it not for an appointed time, that torment would surely have come on them. And it will come on them suddenly while they did not feel. Okay.
Feel what?
I have no clue. The torment, I guess. Maybe
so they didn't feel Allah's dangerous, deciding to
maybe the hot molded liquid that he's going to pour on your head and melt your skin and then put your skin back.
I mean, if they didn't feel anything, sounds like they weren't scared.
All right, 54.
Wait, he says they hasten with torment, but the torment doesn't even get felt because maybe he's not real.
I mean, could be. Sly Fi, okay, they bid you, oh Muhammad, hasten on the doom in the life of this world when lo hell. What translation is that?
So
Somebody's.
50, did you do 54? Did I miss that?
No, I haven't done 54. Somebody is doing a different translation. Hold on a second. Okay, no, there's nobody in the backstage. 54, they hasten. Okay, they hasten you with the torment, and surely hell will surround the infidels. A day the torment covers them from above and from below their legs. Oh, that's kind of strange.
Strange.
And he
covers them from above and from below. What are they saying here?
I don't know.
That does not sound very.
Is there fire upstairs and downstairs? But the fire only goes
the torment covers them from above them and below their legs, and you'll say, "Taste what you are doing." This is either a perversion statement, which I haven't even figured out, but
I mean, we know,
we never know with Allah. He's really perverted.
Between Muhammad and Allah, I don't know which one is more perverted. Okay, from above.
Taste what you were doing. I mean,
yeah. And he will say, taste what you were doing. Okay. I don't know. How do you taste what you were doing?
That might be too complicated for Allah. I mean, he can't be clear, so he probably doesn't know the answer.
We know that 54 is Allah speaking. So who's the one? He will say, taste what you are doing. That's somebody else saying that Allah is going to say to those people that are in hell, taste what you were doing. Or is it hell? Okay, so hell is the one that's going to say, taste what you were doing. So we got hell as an entity that can speak.
Surely hell will surround the infidels. A day torment covers them from. So hell can be above people and below them. I mean, I'm not sure if that's. I don't. This is too confusing. It's just so there's no clarity here.
I don't know.
This is why
Well-
Muslims can't survive reading the Quran without finding someone to interpret it, because they need the con man language to be, explained by somebody who's willing to play the game with the con man.
I mean,
Generalities that mean nothing. Anybody can interpret it in any way.
pretty much. When Allah is not rinsing and repeating, he's making it so vague that I can drive a Mack truck through it and say, look, it talks about Mack truck. See, it's a miracle. Okay, 56. All my servants who believed. Now, surely this is Allah. Surely my earth is vast. So to me, so serve me. That doesn't make any sense.
Wait a minute. All my servants who believed. Okay. Sure, my earth is vast. Okay, that almost makes sense. So to me, so serve. Why would you even say that? Yeah, that's
I
just.
have no clue.
Yeah. All right.
Every soul will taste the death. Okay.
You know what? That's actually probably the only truthful thing that's in the book so
one of
far.
the few things,
Wow.
Then
I'd
to
like to
us
say
you will
something about this
return.
one.
Okay, that's a good one. That's true. We
Hold
died.
on. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
Right here, I'm trying to remember exactly which passage it says, but Allah has a soul as well.
Oh boy! So
Yeah,
Allah will die.
see.
So let me just.
Allah will taste the death as well. I'll try to look the verse up, but I know it says it in the Quran.
Well, there is a Quran that they were talking today on Clubhouse where in one of the Qurans, I think it's the Hassam, I think, where Allah gets Allah is amazed or shocked. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, where did we leave off? 56. Oh, my servants who believe, surely my earth is vast, blah, blah, blah. 57.
We read every soul will taste death.
Yeah, okay, so we read that. So to me, so serve me, makes no sense. Every soul will taste death. Okay, that makes sense. Then to us, you will return. Again, who's us?
So here's the problem again. You taste death, so you go to hell, and then you return?
Now, Paul, can you use us to mean just one person?
Well, Allah is more than one, that's for sure. Maybe he's just Muhammad and Allah, or Allah and maybe Allah is Muhammad. I mean,
But
there's an us there.
Could us be a plural? I'm sorry, a singular.
No.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you Muslims, you Muslimas, I want to know, who is this us that we will return to? I mean, now is Allah referring to as us, as in him and the angels and the jinn and the hoodie, or we don't know? Okay, because I thought, I'll let that slide, even though I don't agree with it. And Paul, I'm pretty sure you agree with the royal we is not what the Muslims think the royal we actually is.
So we got Sci-Fi says, in order to make manifest the religion, trust you. So this is Tafsir Al-Jalani. Every soul shall taste death, and to us you shall return. They shall be returned after the resurrection. Okay. This is...
Okay,
yeah.
So where are they going to be returned after the resurrection?
Yeah, I mean, they're not saying anything more than a resurrection, but where are they being returned to? I mean, and the question is, if they're... I mean, is he's resurrecting them out of hell? I mean, or out of what?
Who knows?
Because it does talk about them all Muslims going to hell, and then Allah lets them out. I mean, this is everyone. Everyone goes to hell. It doesn't matter if you're a Muslim or not. You all go to hell. That's what it says in the Quran over and over again.
All right, 58. And those who believed and did good deeds. Now notice, we're back to good deeds, not...
Yeah, we're back to the plural.
Right? We will lodge them in rooms in the garden. Below them, the rivers flow. I swear,
river.
these people must be in like a hill or something, or maybe they're on a high, maybe they're in a high rise and the rivers are
I
below.
keep thinking they're in the desert, but it
Right.
doesn't follow. But all these gardens, they're not in the desert.
Right.
So, I mean, the desert mindset makes you get the thought, okay, rivers run underwater. But where would you live? I mean, rivers being underground, you get that in I said underwater, but that doesn't make sense. Rivers underground, yeah, I get that in a desert setting. I mean, they're deep underground. But in this concept, yeah.
Maybe they'll have huge tents, and each tent will be cordoned off. Okay, they will abide in it forever. Okay, blessed is the wage of the workers. Okay, those who were patient and they depend on their Lord. You can't just stop right there. Those who were patient and then they depend on their Lord. Okay, I think that this should have been a continuation. Blessed is the wage of the workers, those who were patient and they depended on their Lord. Okay, okay. Okay, 60. How many a creature does not carry her provision? What the hell does that mean? There's lots of creatures that don't carry their provisions. What's he talking about? Hey, Luna, you better start carrying your provision, young lady. Okay?
Well,
I ain't
the
doing that
problem
for
is
you.
if we're talking about people, we have a severe problem because
Yeah.
we are called a creation, not a creature.
Well, I don't think Allah knows the difference. Remember those creatures that walk on their belly.
I found the verse. It's Quran 5:116.
Oh, 5:116.
Okay.
Oh, that goes way back there, man. We read that sucker. 5:116.
You want to go ahead and read it?
Yeah, it says, and when Allah said, O Isa, son of Mary, did you say to the people, take me and my mother as two gods other than Allah? He said, praise be unto you. It is not for me that I say what is not true for me. If I had said it, so indeed you know it. You know what is in my soul, and I do not know what is in your soul. Surely you are the knower of the unseen.
So Allah has a soul, and every soul will taste death. So Allah's going to die.
Allah's gonna taste his own.
Allah's going to hit the crapper. Sorry.
And they say God can't die, really?
Oh well, okay, 60. And how many creatures did not carry her provision? Now, why is it her? Why is it her? I mean, is he trying to say that women are supposed to carry,
I guess women are beasts of burden to this guy. He's a true masochist. I guess that's the right word.
I mean,
No, that's not the right word. Guys who hate women, misogynists,
yeah.
or
Now, is he trying to tell me that all creatures are women? Why couldn't he say it?
Only couple of female creatures, I guess.
How many creature does not carry their provision would be better? Come on, Allah.
Well, what if the guy wants to carry the provision for her? That's not so bad either. But
and check this out: Allah provided for her and for you, and He is the hearing, the knowing. Provided for her who?
well, Allah provided, but I mean that's like saying okay, so you didn't carry the provision, but I gave it to you, and you didn't do anything with it. But that doesn't, without any clarity, we don't know what Allah provided. We don't know if it was big enough to carry or something that needed to be carried. It might have been a singular grape. We don't know. That's just how clear the Quran is again.
Okay, we got 7 more verses to finish this bad boy. All right, 61. And if you ask them, who created the heavens and the earth and has made the sun and the moon subservient, they will surely say Allah. So how then can they turn away? Well, have you read the Quran? Allah expands the provision to whom he wills from his servants and measures out to him. Measures out what? Surely Allah knows all things. Well, Allah doesn't know all things, and I'm going to prove it in the next chapter. And if you ask them, who sends down water from the heaven so it brings life to the earth after its death? They will surely say Allah. Say praise be to Allah. Yet most of them do not understand.
You know what? I'm with them that don't understand. Why are you saying praise to Allah for this? I mean, who sends down the water from heaven so it brings life to the earth after its death? What's dying? Who sends down? Did the earth die that it needs to be revived by water? I mean, if I'm reading this, it doesn't clearly make any sense. I mean, if we had some grass die, it rains, eventually the grass comes back. Okay. But
It's like you need a book to tell you that. I mean,
I
it's something that you see with your own two eyes. Like right now it's getting cold, so all the plants are kind of dying, and then
well, yeah, here we've just we're down to the 50s. It was cold and it was raining today.
Yeah, we went from like 46 to 80. I was like, what the heck? Okay.
Oh, we just went straight down.
Oh.
It was like 60 this morning, 60, 68, somewhere in there.
All right.
Nice and warm, just perfect weather to me. And now, dropping those few degrees, yeah.
64. And what is the world's life except fun and sports? And surely the home of the hereafter is the animal. What?
Wait a minute.
If they were knowing.
Surely the home of the hereafter is the animal. Wait, so are we going to live inside an animal in the hereafter?
I don't know. You keep saying
what is the hereafter? It's an animal.
I have no idea.
The home of the hereafter is the animal. So is that saying heaven is inside a dead animal? I mean, I have so many questions. I mean,
I have no clue, Paul. If they were knowing, okay. So when they embark on ships, they call on Allah, devout and their religion to him, or devote.
Okay, so their idea of ships during this early time.
Okay.
So if people don't know this, when it was 100 or 200 years after Muhammad, I can't remember the exact number, that they decided to embark on ships. It's probably close to 100 years.
Well, come on, Paul. He's not talking about the ignorant Jahalin Muslims. He's talking about the Greeks and the Romans. I was talking about the ships.
But the Muslims were afraid to go to battle on a ship.
Yeah, but that was afterwards. Allah is just telling them about the ships, the nice little ships that the Byzantine
Kafirs were on.
Yeah, the Kafirs, okay, so when he delivers
they didn't call on Allah, just to let you know.
So when he delivers them to the shore, they become polytheists. So
wait a minute.
Don't get on the ship.
Okay,
when you get out of the ship, you're going to be an infidel.
So if you're on a ship and you call on Allah in a devout manner, when you get to shore, you're going to say, "This guy's an idiot. We're not serving him." Yeah, you have to sit there and laugh at that one. You just have to. This God is so strong that when he actually does act, people think he's dangerous and they want nothing to do with him. That's what that says.
I mean, this is just amazing, ladies and gentlemen. This is amazing. Okay, where did I leave off?
We're at 66.
66. To become infidels of what we gave to them, and they will have enjoyment, so they will know. What the hell are we going to know?
I have no clue.
Do they not see what we have? Okay, do they not see that we have made a forbidden safe? Ooh, Allah has a safe.
Okay, wait a minute. I mean, I'm so forbidden safe.
But wait a
Are
minute.
we talking about two descriptive words here, or is safe a noun? That's where I mean,
But if he made whatever he's talking about forbidden, clearly it's safe. Nobody knows about it. That's like a given. And the people around them are snatched away. Okay.
around who?
But wait a minute. Do they not see? Okay. All right.
Are the forbidden a people,
All right. It's a question.
or
So
are they?
that's a stupid question. Do they not see that we have made a forbidden safe? That we have made a forbidden safe. Okay, sounds like he's talking about a safe. You know, maybe he's got some guns in the safe.
Well, that's not. Yeah, that's not what it is, though. That's the point. And the people around them. So the safe must be a people.
No, I mean, I don't know.
Forbidden for. Yeah, that's really confusing. And the lack of clarity strikes. Strikes again. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I can't wait till Osama's next version because it's probably going to be worse if he's really going to stick to the Arabic.
Yeah.
All right, 67. Do they not see what we have made? We have made a forbidden safe, and the people around them are snatched away. Do they believe in the vanity and become infidels in Allah's grace? And who is more unjust than who forged a lie against Allah or denied the truth when it comes to him?
Who
Is-
is more unjust than who forged a
Is
lie
hell,
against-
is not hell the dwelling of the infidels? And those who perform jihad for our sake, we will guide them in our ways, and surely Allah is with the doers of good.
Well, we have a problem with this passage. It's not hell the dwelling of the infidels. Wait a minute. Muslims all go to hell according to the Quran. So it's not just the dwelling of infidels.
I honestly
Unless
don't know
Muslims
how
are
69 get thrown in
infidels.
there. And all ham due to Allah, we finished chapter 29. Now we're going to the chapter of Al-Rund, which is the Romans. All starts off on a bad note. Okay, the Byzantines. It's supposed to say the Romans. It doesn't say the Byzantines. See, Osama's being too nice because the Arabic doesn't say Byzantines. The chapter's called
Well, okay, so the
Romans.
truth of the matter is the word Byzantines didn't exist during the time period. So yes, he's being nice. They were called the Romans, but Byzantines is a word that did not exist during the time of the Byzantines. It's a word that was created to describe them.
Well, Allah didn't know that.
Oh, the joy of learning history.
Oh, this one only has 3 words that are. Oh, we start off on the good foot.
The great amount of clarity with this first word.
Here we go. ALM, 3 Arabic letters. Nobody knows what the hell they mean.
Wait a minute. It doesn't. Is it going to say the Quran is clear again?
Not in this one, but here we go. The Rome, which is the Romans, are defeated. Woohoo! And a near part of the land. Okay, where's that at? Now they'll say, "Oh, look, it's talking about the Dead Sea, which is the lowest part," but it doesn't say the lowest part. It says the near part of the land. Do you see anything that says the lowest part? I don't see it.
What
Near
land?
part.
We don't know what the land
land.
is.
Where is this land?
We
After
have
having
no
been
clue.
wait. Listen to this. After okay, it just says in verse 2, Romans are defeated. You get to the next verse, it says, in a near part of the land, and after having been defeated, they'll be victorious.
Well,
How can you be defeated?
Hey, listen, Allah is a God of not mincing words. He goes right to it. Because
I get you lose a battle. There's
Mary,
a difference between losing, a battle and being defeated in a battle. But the
come
way
on.
verse 2 is written, it's you've lost the war.
If
Then
Mary
you get to verse 3 and they're talking about so you lose a battle and then they kicked butt. There's a difference.
if Mary can have a kid right after she's told she's being pregnant, come on. All right. Now this is supposed to be
wait. Muhammad had to how long was Muhammad in the womb?
Well, I mean, there's records that say 4 years, 2 to 4 years.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but here's a prophecy. Have you ever heard of a prophecy of a God that says, "Within a few years, which means 3 to 9 years, to Allah is the affair. Before and after, and on that day, the believers will rejoice. With the victory of Allah, He will give victory to whom He wills, and He is the dear, the merciful." Okay,
Does anybody know? I mean, again, this is the con man language. Within a few years, so there's no specification. To Allah is the affair. So is Allah having a fling before and after and on that day? But the
okay.
believers will rejoice. We don't have any clue what he's talking about here.
What does Dr.
That's the
Cat?
con man
Alice
language.
cheating on somebody.
Yeah.
Allah's cheat. Oh, Allah's cheating on someone. Does that mean he's committing shirk?
Could be. Now, what does Dr. Kufas Tafsir have to say about this? What we can surmise is there's a group of people called the Rum, or the Romans. They were defeated in the near part of the land, but we don't know what that near part of the land is. And after having been defeated, they will be victorious. Okay.
So they weren't defeated.
Well, I guess, I mean, if you read the timeline, it was kind of back and forth. They got defeated, the other ones got defeated. Okay, but then within a few years, Allah's, Allah couldn't tell you. The Almighty Allah couldn't tell you, hey, on January the 5th, 628 AD, okay, or Hijrah +8, the Romans are going to be victorious against the Sassanid Empire or the Persian army, but that's okay. This is a prophecy.
So, but it doesn't make any sense in
But
there's
why is,
the lack of clarity with any specifics here means anybody can interpret it any way they want.
but why is Allah supporting the Christians? I mean, He
Well, we
got
don't know that.
to tell us that we're following the wrong God.
Oh, yeah, it's because it's 600. It would be Christians. You're right.
I mean, the Romans have been Christian for at least 200 years, if not more.
Yeah.
What was it, Constantine that made the...
Well, it's supposed to have been under Constantine that, yeah. So we could be talking about 300 years of where Christianity's been accepted and becomes the state faith structure.
Right, so let's say 300 years, Allah is supporting the Christians who He hates. Why would He be supporting a group of people that commit shirk by associating partners with Allah?
Well, because Allah's having an affair.
Okay, maybe
so why not?
Okay.
Maybe Allah's having an affair with Christians. I mean, that's the affair right there. Allah's having the affair with Christians.
Okay, so it says...
Years.
I kind of broke up.
Maybe Allah doesn't know the word affair. I mean, or maybe we're affair can mean a lot of different things, but here it just doesn't make sense because it's lack of clarity.
All right, let's go back to number 5. With the victory of Allah, He will give victory to whom He wills, and He is the dear and the merciful. The promise of Allah does not change His promise, but most people do not know. But wait a minute, Allah does change His promise. Allah makes, He's got favorites. Didn't He tell the Muslims they could only marry 2 or 3 or 4, but then Muhammad gets to marry whoever he wants? Okay, they know the visible of the world's life, and they are unaware about the hereafter. Well, if they haven't died, how would they have any knowledge? Have they not considered themselves that Allah did not? Have they not considered in themselves that Allah did not create the heavens and the earth, what is between them, okay, except with the truth and for an appointed time?
Wait a minute.
Ooh, that was
is he asking if people
Mm-hmm.
consider that that God doesn't exist? Is that what he's trying to say?
No, I think he's just asking, have they not considered that, Allah created the heavens and the earth and everything that's between them?
No, I'm saying Allah did not create, so that's the issue.
Yeah, that He did not create it except with the truth. So, He did create it, but with the truth for an appointed time. So that means heaven and the earth, well, they're going to go poof sometime. We don't know when.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of.
Yeah.
It's a lot of words to say very, very little.
Yeah.
Oh, that's command language.
Okay.
I also made a really long list of all of the wars that were fought from Muhammad's time up until, well, from 350 to 1095. Basically, all the wars that eventually involved Muslims and the whole 9 yards. So, within a few years, no, they weren't victorious by any stretch of the imagination. No way.
Yeah, that's very truthful. Well said, Brett. Well said, Ed.
All right, number 9. No, okay. And surely most people are infidels in the meeting of their Lord. Okay, does that mean that they weren't infidels before they met their Lord?
I mean, that's another clear statement. I love this statement. You meet Allah
You become an infidel.
and you run away from him. Doesn't that say something right there? Okay. Most people are infidels in the meeting of their Lord. Wait.
So does that mean that when you meet Allah, you become an infidel, or are you an infidel before you meet Allah? Allah's not very clear. Okay, number 9. Have they not walked on the earth? Okay, Allah, where are they supposed to be walking if not on the earth? So they see how the end was. Okay, so they see how was the end of those who were before them. I don't know.
Wait a minute. If you're walking the earth, how do you end up seeing the end of those who walk before you? Because if they walk before you, you can't see them. So if they died before they came along, these new people come along, how? I mean, you can read about it, you can hear about it, but you can't see it.
Yeah, I got a problem with that too. Because none of these people were alive back when those things supposedly happened. It's like you said. It's supposed to be read Allah, So
many words that Allah doesn't understand. Yeah. It's kind of sad.
They were mightier than them in strength. Who's mightier? Okay, than them in strength. And those who plowed the earth and constructed it more than they constructed it. What the hell does that mean?
Those who plowed the earth and so are there people who construct the earth? Is that not what that sounds like? Those
I have more problems with and constructed it more than they constructed it. What the hell does that mean?
Well, that's what I'm getting at, because if the people are okay, it's one thing to plow the earth. Construct the earth. That bothers me.
I mean, what the hell does that mean? Who plowed the earth?
Part of the houses.
Is Leah here?
No, she's not. No. She didn't come back.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, seriously, what does that mean? And constructed it more than they constructed it. That is just completely gibberish.
You got to keep on keeping on, right?
I guess so. And their messengers came to them with the proofs. Okay.
Wait a minute. There hasn't been any proof.
I guess not. So it was not for Allah to treat them unjustly, but they were.
Allah treats the messengers unjustly.
But they were treating themselves unjustly. How does someone treat themselves?
So what is he talking about? The messengers came to them with the proofs. So it was not for Allah to treat. Who are we talking about? Who's the them? Is he treating the messengers unjustly? Because the messengers came to who is them?
See, this is where you need an Arabic speaker that knows the grammar, because I would say that it goes back to the messengers, because that's the last.
Yeah.
That's the last pronoun that
their messengers came to them with the proofs. Yeah. So it's not for Allah to treat. So if we're going, okay, we're talking about people who received messengers, and then Allah treats those people who received the messengers unjustly. So it's not. He doesn't treat them unjustly. but they treat themselves unjustly. Wow, that's
Scary thought, huh?
it's
I always
it's
remember,
just messed up.
Islamic justice, right? It's not like the justice we know.
Yes.
Okay, number 10. Then evil was the end of those who did the evil because they denied Allah's verses and they were scoffing at it. Well, we're doing that. Allah began the creation and then repeats it. Then to him you will
Okay,
return.
this makes me laugh every time I hear it. Allah begins creation and he repeats it because Allah didn't get it right the first time.
Could be.
We've read this. I think this is twice we've seen this.
Oh, I think it's been more than twice.
More than twice. Allah
Oh,
has
yeah.
to begin. Allah begins it and then starts it over again. Allah needs a redo.
So when did this happen? Because science doesn't say that creation started and then it repeated again, but that's okay.
Well, it's not even science saying it. This is the Allah demonstrating he doesn't have knowledge of what the word creation means. Because creation means you create. To create, you create out of nothing. All right. This is what the word create means to Jews and Christians. Create is something done out of nothing. Now, when we're talking about humans doing creating, we're creating out of something. There's a difference. But for God to do any creating, it's out of nothing. Wow.
Well, maybe he created out of nothing, then he realized he made a mistake, and he made it back to nothing.
My question is, what mistake did Allah make that he had to do it Who had to do it over again?
We will have to ask Kafirs. We'll have to ask him on the day of resurrection. And the hour will rise. Okay, and a day the hour will rise. I didn't know hours rose. The criminals will be in despair. I wonder why. And it was not for them any intercessors from their partners. And they were infidels with their partners. And a day the hour will rise. Wait a minute. Didn't I just read that crap? Yeah, right here. Number 12. And a day the hour will rise. Then in 14. And a day the hour will rise. On that day they will be separated. Who will? So as for those who believed and did good deeds, so they are happy in the Ruda.
What was number 3?
Luxurious gardens, a Pavlovic origin. Okay, it's not even Greek, it's not even Aramaic. It's a language that I never even heard of.
Wow.
So they're going to have luxurious condos. All right.
Well, these are gardens, he said, right? They're happy in the gardens.
Yeah, they're luxurious. They're not gardens. They're luxurious, like a luxurious garden. So it's one garden.
You know, it seems like Allah keeps trying to get people back into the Garden of Eden, but he doesn't know how to explain the Garden of Eden.
Yeah,
because Allah wasn't there.
Oh, but as for those who became infidels and denied our verses and the meaning of the hereafter, so those will be brought to the torments. So praise be to Allah when you come to the evening and when you come to the morning. Don't know what that means.
Wait a minute. Do people physically move to evening and physically move to morning? I guess if you're traveling across the earth, that's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. Allah's flat earth. Okay, where is this thing?
Doesn't work with Allah's flat earth, though.
Okay, there we go. My computer's dying.
No, you can have a Barak too.
Plug that. No, that's right. So praise be to Allah when you come in the evening, when you come in the morning, and to him the praise in the heavens and the earth.
You're right.
Yeah, I had to bend over and turn on the power to my computer. It was dying on me. So much for the 10-hour battery.
Right.
They lied. They
So,
lied.
to him, the praise in the heavens and the earth, and at night when you come and to him, wait a minute. You come to the evening, you come to the morning, and then you praise in the heavens, and to him the praise in the heavens, and the earth, and you're giving praise to the heavens and the earth. Wow. not to Allah. Praise goes to the heavens and the earth. Interesting.
Yeah.
At night.
And when you come to the noon.
That part there is just bizarre. When you come to the noon.
Yeah, the Quran is bizarre. It's some bizarre world. Okay, 19. He brings forth the living out of the dead, and he brings forth the dead out of the living. And he gives the earth life after its death, and likewise you will be brought forth. And
so he's
We're all
saying you'll be
dead
resurrected?
Well, we were all dead before we were born.
Yeah. Okay, 20. And of his signs that he created you from dust. Then behold, you were scattered humans.
Wait a minute. Didn't Allah say he created us from mud?
Well, dust is a kind of a mud, kind of a wet
Dust is
clay.
not something wet, though.
I mean, dust is that crap that keeps piling up on my black dining table. Allah, I got plenty of dust here. You want to come over
There's
here?
a big difference between dust and mud. What would you rather have on your dining table? Dust or mud?
I'd rather have dust. I will be having mud later on when it rains and snows, but that's okay. And of his signs that he created you from your soul's wives.
Wait, you're so.
And
Wow.
of his signs that he
created to you from your soul's wives. Wow.
So my wife was created from my soul?
He created to you. And of his signs, so that you may dwell. Read the rest of this. Read the rest of this sentence.
Okay, and of his signs that he created to you from your soul's wives, so that you may dwell in her.
Okay, now you see where I'm going?
Yeah. And he has established friendship and mercy between you.
Stop there for a minute. Okay. So Allah is speaking about justification for having sex.
Well, I mean, Paul, I think what Allah meant to say is that your wife, so that you may dwell with her. Somebody made a mistake and didn't finish. Put the wrong word.
Well, this could be the Arabic second language issue, but
because
that's quite a.
Because
so we've gone from talking about with. If you're dwelling with your wife, that's one thing. When you're dwelling in her,
that's not a good thing.
Well, if you're married, it's not a bad thing. Let's put it that way.
It depends what part of you is dwelling in her.
Again, if you're married, yeah, it's again, it says something. I mean, established friendship and mercy. So really, there's signs. Oh my gosh,
because it would be impossible for me to dwell in my wife. Okay.
Well,
I mean,
to live there is one thing, but the word dwell here has a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to like each other after a while.
No. She didn't like me after a while either. Okay. Okay, and he has established friendship. Okay. Surely in this are signs to a reflecting people. Okay.
Okay, reflecting people. We're reflecting that if you keep them together, the husband and the wife together, and you make him dwell within her, that's not going to work. That's just. I think the women will not be happy with that.
No, sirree. All right, 22. And of his signs, the creation of the heavens and the earth, and your variety of tongues and colors. Ooh. Okay. Okay, what's he talking about? Different languages and people of different colors?
Creation of heavens and earth. The signs of the creation of heavens and earth, and the variety of tongues and we could be talking about different languages, and we could be
people of different colors,
different tones of skin. Yeah. We could be talking about that.
Like the people who lived where the sun rose.
But what follows, surely in this are signs to those who know. That doesn't make sense
Yeah.
because we don't know what he's talking about there. If we're saying, okay, we're all one people, well, we could say that. But this is almost like, again, if you look above, I highlighted, surely in this are signs to reflecting people. Now we're back in, surely this and signs are to those who, we keep seeing that, to those who know. What are we talking about? I mean, how can you know? Because we don't know what you're talking about.
All right, 23 gets interesting. And of his signs is your sleep by night and day, and your seeking of his bounty. Surely, and these are signs to a hearing people. Wait a minute. How do you see signs with your ears?
Okay. Signs of his signs. Okay. The fact that you sleep, his signs is your sleep. So his sign is, he gives you a sign because it's, yeah. And you're seeking of his bounty. You're seeking something from Allah. Surely, and these are signs to a hearing people. We don't see any signs here. Right. And of his, you won't see any signs because you're sleeping. You won't get at your bounty because you're sleeping. Surely, and this are signs to a hearing. So the hearing people who are sleeping, this doesn't make any sense. And of his signs are the shows, are that he shows you the lightning. Okay. Okay, you might hear something by the lightning. You might fear something by hearing the lightning.
What does that mean? And of his signs are that he shows you lightning, fearing and hoping. What does that mean?
I think he's got. Okay, if he shows you lightning, you might fear it.
Right.
Okay.
And
I don't know where the hoping part comes in here.
Maybe
that'll end. I mean,
yeah, I was going to say maybe hoping that it will stop so you won't fear it, but these are all incomplete thoughts.
Well, again, this is the prophet that runs out naked whenever it rains. So, I mean,
and here it goes. He repeats himself, and he sends water from the heaven. So he gives life, but which heaven? There's 7 heavens. So he gives life by it to the earth after its death. Okay, we got.
Okay, so we're back here so he gives life to the earth after it dies. I mean, it is the same thing he said. I'm just going to go up here. He will be, right here, and he gives the earth life after its death. I mean, why did he even bother saying it again? He just said it. Not even. Redundancy.
And remember that these are only signs to the understanding people. So if you don't understand, you're not going to recognize that these are signs from Allah. 25. And of his signs that the heaven and the earth stand at his command. What does he mean? The earth stands at his command? Does he think that the earth is stationary?
I guess the heavens have an ability to stand.
I guess.
And the earth has an ability to stand. I mean, I didn't know that they could physically stand, but
and why is he keep
because here's
Shirley?
The other part of that is we're told the Quran is to be interpreted literally. So wow.
And why does he keep calling Muhammad Shirley?
I don't know.
It's not a name. I'll be fair with that, but
Shirley Temple.
Surely, in this are signs to an understanding people, and of his signs. Okay, here's another problem with that. Surely is still. I mean, it's insecure. I mean, it's not saying it's like surely. I mean, you're not trusting.
Well, Allah could have said, these are signs. Okay, these are signs from your Lord to understanding people. But whatever.
Putting surely there means you're not confident.
Right. All right. Then if he calls you with a call from the earth, behold, you come forth. So I guess he's talking about it.
So the God perhaps strikes again. Then if he calls you.
And to him is what is in the heavens and the earth. All to him are obedient, Well, that's a problem because didn't Iblis give Allah the finger?
Yeah, he
So
did.
this is saying, and to him, what is in the heavens and the earth, all to him are obedient. But
But that's not what happened.
Iblis is not obedient. You and I are not being obedient to him. Allah lied, folks. And he is who okay. And he is who begins the creation, and then
Wait
he
a minute.
repeats
Wait a
it.
minute. Wait a minute. Do we have another story of creation coming again here? So Allah has to do a redo again. So how many redos have we done now?
Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty sure 5 or 6 throughout the 29. No, what? I'm sorry, 30.
Oh, wait. Oh, you got to read the rest of it again. We have to do the redo part.
And he is who begins the creation, and then he repeats it. And to him, it's easy. Well, Allah, if it was easy, why did you have to repeat it?
You must have made a
Got the easy
mistake
button.
someplace. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying he has the easy button.
Oh,
He's got Hillary's button.
yeah. And to him, the highest example in the heavens and the earth, and he is the deer, the wise. I keep seeing Bambi when I read this. Okay. Oh, here comes a parable. Here comes a parable. We haven't yet seen a parable that we understood. He sets forth a parable to you from among yourselves.
But again, Allah doesn't know what a parable is.
Do you have from what your right hand possessed of partners in what we provided you? So you are alike in it. I don't know what that means.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Keep going.
You fear them as you fear yourselves. Who am I fearing? What my right
Wait a
hand
minute. So
possesses?
do you have what your right hand possessed? So do you have from do you have from what your so do you have something from your slaves or your wives in what we provided to you? So you are the right hand is your slaves, your sex slaves. It usually refers to sex slaves. Of partners, okay, partners would be your wives in what we provided you. So what did you fear them as you why okay, these are men, they're not supposed to fear the women. Do you sounds like the men fear the women here.
Yeah, it could be
Do
depends
you
on
have what you're something okay. Do you have from what you're what do they have? I mean, they're getting something from their sex slaves. Oh, it's even worse. Your right hand possess
she's
of
got a frying
partners.
pan.
So these are the sex slaves of the partners. Am I reading that right? From your right hand. Okay, wait, no, that would be your right hand is what that you own as the sex slaves of partners.
I guess the partners would be the wives. And
what we provided you. So
you are alike in it.
that doesn't make sense to me.
You fear them as you fear yourself.
So you were fearing the women.
Could be.
I mean, because this is a reference to women. So the males are fearing the women.
All right. Likewise, we expound the verses to an understanding people. Yet the unjust follow their desires without knowledge. So who can guide whom Allah misled? Nobody. So see, I'm being misled by Allah. So the Muslims, when they're doing their dawah to me, it ain't going to work. And they do not have any helpers. Okay. So set your face to the religion, Hanafan, the natural instinct of Allah, which
Wait. Let's read that again. Allah has instincts.
Yes, he does.
That means he's a created being. Freak. That is just bizarre.
That's another one to add to the list. There is no exchange in the creation of Allah. I don't know what that means. This is the
no. Read that slower. Sorry.
There is no exchange in the creation of Allah.
Okay, those last few words.
Oh, Allah is created?
Allah is created. Did you see that?
Now
Wow.
it could. Now I mean, come on. To be fair, it could say that it's talking about the creation that Allah created.
No. Okay, there is no exchange. Okay, maybe you're right there. I'll give you
Yeah.
that. All right.
I'm trying to help Allah out here because he needs
Oh
all the
wow.
help. Now, here's the funny thing. So Allah is saying that the Hanafan is the right religion, but I thought Islam was the right religion.
Yeah, let's go back up. I'll mark that too. That was just bizarre.
This
A
is the
lot
right
of people don't
religion,
know.
but most people do not know.
Where was that?
Turning,
Nothing. I'm sorry.
all right,
Where was that? What verse was that? Oh, there it is, right there.
that was somewhere like in the middle
30.
of 30. Yeah, 30.
Okay.
All right,
So
31. Turning to him and fear him. No, that should be turn to him and fear him. That doesn't make
that's
sense.
that's the Arabic second
Yeah.
language.
Turning
issue,
to
yeah.
him and fear him and perform the prayer and do not be of the polytheists. We still don't know what this damn prayer is. So if it's
Well,
only a prayer, why do Muslims pray 5 times? Okay, 32. Of those who have split up their religion, and they were parties where every group rejoices in what they have. Okay. And when some harm touches the people, they call on their Lord, turning to him. Then, if he caused them to taste mercy from him, behold, a group of them have other partners with their Lord to become infidels in what we gave them. Now, that's something's wrong here because you can't just say a group of them have other partners with their Lord
so he caused them to taste
to become
mercy.
infidels.
He gives them mercy, and then they become infidels.
He misled them.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this
So
makes
the mercy is if I'm reading this correct, the mercy is that they become infidels.
behold, a group of them have other partners with their Lord. How did this to become infidels and what we gave them? That doesn't make sense, but that's okay.
I think it's actually the mercy.
Yeah.
It's a mercy for them to become infidels. Then if he caused them to taste mercy from him, behold, a group of them have other partners with their Lord to become infidels. It's pretty much a mercy to leave Allah.
So enjoy, so you will know. I will know what?
I have no clue.
Or
Or you're celebrating because you left Allah.
yeah. Or we have sent down an authority on them. Why is
We
he
don't even know what them is
Why is he starting with or?
because Allah doesn't know. That's the God of perhaps.
So he will, okay, or we have sent down an authority on them. Okay, I guess that's a messenger, a prophet, a warner. So he will speak about what they were partnering. Okay, I guess he's talking about a messenger that's going to tell them what they were doing. Okay, 36. And when we cause the people to taste mercy, they rejoice in it. And if an evil touches them because of what their hands had produced, behold, they are in despair. Have they not seen that Allah expands and measures the provisions of whom he wills? Surely in this are signs to a believing people. So give to the nearest relative his due, and to the needy, and the son of the way, the traveler. This is best to those who desire the face of Allah, and those are the prosperous. Okay. Allah will not bless those who accept interest on investments, but Allah pays interest.
We've read that. How many times have we read that Allah pays
I know.
interest?
I mean, Allah says, who will lend Allah a good loan, and Allah's going to like double it. So that's interest, right?
Yeah, and he's always asking for a
Yeah.
loan. So
And whatever you have, okay, and whatever you have been given of interest to increase in the people's money, so they will not increase with Allah. Okay. So I guess if you charge interest on the money that you lend out, you're not going to increase with Allah. And whatever you have brought of legal alms, desiring the face of Allah. So those are the ones who will be doubled. Whoa, wait a minute. If you double something, that's interest. You know?
Okay. Whatever you have brought of legal arms, desiring the face of Allah, so you get 100% back.
So if you give Allah
That's not a
$100,
50%. That's 100%,
well,
right?
yeah. So if you give Allah 100 alms, He's going to give you back 200.
Hmm.
Allah, who created you, then provided for you, then will cause you to die, then gives you life. Is there any of your partners who do any of these things?
So he
Praise.
creates you, he provides for you, and I mean, this is pretty unique that Allah causes you to die. I mean, people should think about this. What does it mean when you have a God that causes you to die? I mean,
This is a vicious circle because
But then He gives
he
you life.
creates life from the dead ones.
Yeah.
okay, so he kills you, then resurrects you. I mean, there are serial murderers who do this kind of thing. They cause you
Yeah.
to die, they bring you
But-
back to life. They cause you to die, they bring you back to life. That we've read this kind of thing about it seems like 6 times already.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Praise.
It makes you wonder if that's the kind of stuff that's going through this
Again,
mind. I mean, I
if
don't
we were
know.
to take out the repetition, the copy and paste, this Quran would be 30,000 words.
It would be okay, well,
And
all
it
of chapter
still would,
26 would be gone.
and it still would make sense. Praise be to Him, and He is exalted above what they partner. Okay.
Okay, you know what I would say? If it still wouldn't make it, but it would be actually probably be clearer.
I mean, it could be.
To me, it seems like they took a bunch of verses and wrote them down on paper and stuck them in this jar and shook the jar up really good,
Well,
and then put
that's
them in the buck.
that's kind of what I was saying earlier, Ed.
All right, 41. Vandalism has appeared in the shore and
Okay.
the sea because of what the hands of the people have earned, so that He may cause them to taste some of what they have done. Perhaps they may return.
Okay, so we don't know what the vandalism is. So let's just imagine that this is an oil spill. Okay, it will affect the shoreline, it affects the sea, and in some sense, the people earn it because they weren't taking care of things, so that He may cause them to taste. That only works if we're talking about something that huge that kind of damage. Otherwise, this concept, again, we're talking about the 600s. This is so vague you can't even. And that's the problem with con man language. You can take it to mean anything.
See, Allah was really talking about this is a prophecy about the oil rigs in the middle of the ocean outside there, and that you're going to have some of them that are going to spill oil, and it's going to affect the shores and the sea. See, you got to
Yeah.
read this with an open heart. Forget about that mind of yours. Just throw it out. And Allah says, perhaps they may return. So Allah's not sure if they're going to return. Okay. Say, walk on the earth. Okay, Allah, please, where am I
He
supposed
keeps
to
telling
walk?
us to walk on the earth. Maybe he doesn't know that most of us walk. I don't know.
See how was the end of those before you? No, Allah, we have not seen.
We
We've read.
can't do that. We can
Right.
read about it. We can
Right,
hear
we can
about
read
it, but
about
we
it.
can't
We can-
see that.
Most
Maybe
of
Allah
them.
doesn't know that.
Okay. Oh, but this is another problem, like the one that I pointed out earlier. Say, walk on the earth. See how was the end of those before you. Most of them were polytheists.
Oh, wait a minute.
So
Here we
some
go
of them
again.
were. So that means some of them were not polytheists. Okay. So set your face to the right religion before a day will come in which none can turn away from Allah. And on that day and on that day they will be separated.
Well, so this sounds like it's a threat.
Yeah.
Turn to Allah,
or
yeah, that's exactly
or
it.
face the piper, whoever becomes an infidel, so his infidelity is on him. Okay, I thought infidelity means you cheat on your wife.
Well, infidelity in generally means unfaithful.
Okay.
So
Okay,
whoever
I
becomes
guess
an
you're cheating on
infidel,
Allah. We're cheating on Allah.
but that's
And
because Allah wants us to.
yes. Now notice now we're back to a singular deed. And whoever did a good deed, not good deeds. Allah's very confused. So it is for themselves they prepare. They
Prepare
prepare
what?
what? Okay, I mean, whew, 45.
No wonder why these guys want to go blow themselves up.
This is really, I mean, I think
Oh,
reading
okay.
this is enough to make your
Okay.
mind go nuts.
Here's the problem, Paul.
Hmm.
45 is a continuation of 44. It should say, so it is for themselves they prepare that he may reward from his bounty those who have believed and did good deeds. So we
Wait a
went
minute.
from
Good deed,
deeds to good deeds.
singular. Good deeds, plural.
Surely he does not love the infidels. That say this period here in this 45, that's really not a beginning of a new sentence or a new verse. That's
So we have a singular good deed.
right.
It is for themselves they prepare, that he may reward from his bounty those who have believed in. So now we're talking, okay, him, you have a singular reference to deed. Okay, this is interesting. So for an individual, this implies that even this use of good deeds here, the way it's worded, we're talking about one good deed still with this plural here, because this plural is referenced to a them. So each of them only have to do one good deed if I'm following verse 44. So it's still a singular deed for each individual.
Okay.
But, this is the part, I'm going to highlight this one. Allah does not love those who do not love him. And to me, that is reason enough not to bother with him. He has no he offers you nothing for not liking him.
Well, remember, Allah is a conditional God. You
Yes.
do A, Allah does B. You don't do A, Allah's still going to do B for
Well,
you, and it ain't
he's
going to
not
be the
just
good B.
conditional. He's a
Right.
fickle God.
Right.
So he doesn't. It really comes down. He doesn't care. All right. If you follow him, that's okay. Let me flip a coin, see if I'll reward you. If you don't follow him, it's because he chose not for you. He chose not for you to not to follow him. And then will you be rewarded? Well, again, he flips a coin. So,
all right. 46. And of his signs that he sends the winds with good news. Okay, what kind of good news do winds bring?
Well, as I keep saying, Allah doesn't know what the words good news is. There's probably some kind of torture, because whenever he mentions good news, he mentions torture.
So that he may cause you to taste of his mercy, and that ships may sail at his command, and that you may seek from his bounty, and perhaps you may give thanks. So Allah
Does
is
he
going to do
actually
all this.
understand what good news means now?
So Allah is
Good.
going to do all this good stuff for you, but he doesn't know if you're going to give him thanks. And
Because you cause you to taste of his mercy at sales may. This is here we go. May sail. We don't. Allah doesn't know. The God of perhaps strikes again.
yeah, but
Ships may sail at his command.
yeah,
That
Allah
you
also
may seek from his bounty.
yeah, Allah also-
Perhaps you may give.
yeah. Well, Allah forgot that in 2021 we have ships that don't need sails. So much for your wind, Allah. Okay, and indeed we sent messengers before you to their people. So they came to them with proofs. So we took revenge on those criminals.
So just going back here to the messengers, he's sending plural messengers to a singular people again.
Yeah, Allah, Allah just changed his mind because he said for every nation he sends a messenger from amongst the people, so they can speak French and Italian and Japanese. But we don't know of any of these prophets. So we took revenge on those criminals. What did the criminals do?
We don't
And
even know why they're criminals.
infidels, polytheists, who knows? And it was our duty to help the believers. Okay, wait a minute. Our duty. Does that not
Who's
imply there's more than one?
okay? So if who's speaking here? If it's our duty to help the, I mean, it has to be a human.
Maybe I'm guessing it's Allah in the messenger. It's Allah in the messenger's duty to help the believers. Because it can't be Allah by himself, because that there says our. It was our duty.
Our help.
Our
duty.
is plural.
But the problem of the word duty is it's an obligation. So if Allah has an wow.
Yeah,
Again,
Allah
that
is
makes
obligated to help you with the messenger. He can't do it by himself.
Hmm.
So he needs some help. 48. Allah is who sends the winds. So they raise the clouds. So he spreads them in the heaven.
Wait a minute. Where were they? Where were they to begin with?
Wait a minute. I can't. I mean, couldn't Allah say sky?
Okay, so basically, there's wind moving,
Right.
and all of a sudden, Allah's getting the credit for the wind being there, and moving the clouds. Like,
And the
oh,
wind raises the clouds up. And then
Who
he
is they?
spreads them into heaven.
hold on, Ed.
However he
Ed, go ahead.
wills.
I was just asking who is they?
Oh my gosh. Okay, they rejoice over that. Is that what we're talking about?
No,
Well,
so
no,
they raised the clouds.
the day goes back to the winds. So the winds raise the clouds.
Oh, so they,
Yeah.
yeah. That is a good question. Allah is who sends the winds.
And the winds raise the clouds.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Then he spreads them into heaven. But I didn't know clouds were in heaven. But I guess, heaven, maybe 7th century, who they didn't know the difference between the different layers of the atmosphere, whatever. And he made them break. Okay, what does that mean? So you see the rain
So
issuing.
Allah doesn't understand clouds. So we call it a cloud break is I mean, what we used to call it. Oh my gosh, I haven't heard it called cloud break in a long time, but rain has been called a cloud break before when you have a rainstorm. I haven't heard that, and yeah, it's an old reference. I haven't heard it in quite a long time. But yeah,
Allah needs probiotics for his mental health.
Huh.
I think Allah needs to sit down.
What actually happens with rain? This shows that Allah doesn't understand the clouds.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a cloud break. It's two clouds running into each other, a cold front and a warm front. So these are two different sets of clouds that cause rain. But Allah thinks the clouds break in half, and that's why it. Oh, that's just Allah not understanding science again.
Well, I mean, he did split the moon, so it's easy for him to split the cloud or the cloud. Okay, and he made them break. Okay, meaning the clouds. So you see the rain issuing from their midst. So when he pours it down, as he wills, on his servants, behold, they rejoice. And before it came down on them, they were in despair.
Oh, again, Muhammad's always scared when it rains. That's what Aisha tells us. So that's the despair. He's always. I think Allah's always afraid, or Muhammad's always afraid when it rains. He thinks it's going to be the end of days. His numbers up type thing. So yeah.
So look then at the traces of Allah's mercy, how he brings life to the earth after its death. There we go again. Surely
Earth dies. The earth dies every time. Every few sentences we have the earth dying.
Surely this will give life to the dead, and he has might over all things. Now, this one is funny. And if we send a wind so they see it yellow, what the hell does that mean? They surely continue to be infidels after.
Okay,
what?
there's a silly answer, and it's probably wrong. But have you ever heard about the
Sandstorm.
boy who peed into the wind?
Oh, oh. I was thinking more like it was like a sandstorm,
Okay, if they,
but that wouldn't necessarily be yellow.
yeah, that's the yellow is what I'm thinking about.
Oh, hey, that's what it is. It's Allah and his angels. They're peeing
Into the wind.
into the winds. So,
Oh my
so
God.
the people are seeing yellow wind. Oh, okay. I can't see the wind. I've never been able to see the wind. Muhammad could not perform miracles. Compare this to the miracles of Isa, the Jesus of Muhammad, in verse 5, 110. Okay, surely. Okay, now see, that's what happens when you read the Quran for too long. You start to, make words up or see words that are not there. So surely you cannot make the dead hear, and you cannot make the deaf hear. The call when they turn their backs. We read this in one of the other two chapters.
So when the deaf, yeah, I think,
Yeah, we did.
yeah, they
And you
haven't put,
cannot, and you cannot guide the blind out of their error. This is exactly a copy and paste from before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you might want to highlight that.
Yeah, this is another copy paste section.
That's another copy paste or rinse and repeats. You will not make none to hear, except who will believe in our verses, so they are Muslims. Okay, Allah is who created you from weakness, and then he makes strength after weakness. Then he makes weakness after strength. And gray hair. What the hell?
Then he makes weakness.
That
Okay.
sounds like a
So
yo-yo
Allah
going on,
is
man.
created you from weakness.
Okay, so
He
you made
makes-
from weakness, then he makes strength after the weakness. So he makes you strong after the weakness. But then he goes on, he says, then he makes weakness after strength and gray hair. So I guess he's trying to say that you're strong when you're young, and then you'll eventually be back to being weak as you grow old and you have gray
So
hair.
you're a baby, you're weak, you
Right.
become stronger as you grow older, and then you get gray hair.
But
Look,
well, come
again,
on, Paul.
we're helping Allah because
yes,
he's
we're
using
helping.
common language again.
Yeah, maybe I should do my own tafsir. Dr.
Hmm.
Kufar's tafsir.
That could be an
Okay.
interesting book.
He created what he wills, and he is the knowing, the mighty. Okay. A day, and a day the hour will arise. The criminals will swear that they did not stay but an hour. Likewise, they were lying.
Well, they were lying about staying an hour, or they're swearing.
Well, I guess he's trying to
Sounds like
say
they stayed longer, or something.
that when Allah raises the criminals from the grave, they're going to think that they were only in the grave for an hour, but they were lying. But those who were given the knowledge and the faith said, indeed, you have waited according to the book of Allah.
But they're.
What
Where
book?
is this book of Allah? We haven't.
This must be the I forgot what they call that tablet in the seven heavens. Indeed, you have waited according to the book of Allah until descending resurrection day. So this is descending day, but you are not knowing. So on that day, their excuses will not profit the unjust, and neither will they be allowed to repent. Wow, Allah, definitely, he's a tough guy. And indeed, we gave in this Quran from every parable to the people. And if you bring them a sign, those who became infidels will surely say, you are the purveyor of lies. Likewise, Allah seals on their hearts of those who do not know. Okay, Allah seals on the heart of those who do not know. Allah seals? Shouldn't it be Allah puts a seal on the hearts of those who do not know?
Well, it doesn't.
Because that doesn't make any sense. Allah seals on the hearts of those who do not know.
This is another Arabic as a second language error.
Allah places seals. Allah puts seals.
You can seal the heart.
And Allah seals the hearts.
Yeah,
But Allah
that it
seals
works.
on the
I'm not
hearts?
going to say that doesn't work, but the way it's worded, it's problematic.
Yeah.
Allah seals on the hearts. I think that again, this is Arabic as a second language issue.
And what does he seal on their hearts? That would be my question.
We don't. Okay, this is another issue. Why is he sealing something on people who don't know what the heck is what he's doing? I mean, that's just problematic as a whole. So be patient. Surely the promise of Allah is true, and do not let those who have no certainty unsettle you. So I would say I have no certainty in Allah. I have certainty in Jesus Christ. And if you've been listening to this, I'm going to say, look, and if you are a follower of Allah, let me tell you about this guy named Jesus. He came because he first loved you. That's a choice you get to make if you want to love him back. He's not going to force you. He's not going to torture you. He's there to offer you something for free. And go and read the book of Matthew. I keep telling people, go read the book of Matthew. Why? Because that's where the prophecies are explained. That's where they're shown. This is the book of lack of clarity. Go read the gospel message in book of Matthew. Why? Because the Quran says to do that you should be reading the gospels. Surah 4, 46, I think it's Surah 4 or Surah 5, 46 to 48. Read it, and you will see you should be reading the Old Testament. You should be reading the gospel. I'm just picking on Matthew. Go read that book and then make your choice. It's all up to you. No one's going to make it for you. In in the Quran, you don't get a choice. You don't get a chance to make these choices. You're born. They don't give you choices. You must do this. You must do that. But you know what? It's not enough. There's nothing you can do to earn your way to heaven according to God. That's why he came to offer you a free gift. A free gift. You just have to make the choice. Make a choice. That's it. It's up to you.
And
I'll leave it at that.
And we guarantee you, if you read the Bible, it would make sense. You don't have to guess.
And it's very clear.
Yeah. I mean, it's in a narrative, you start reading a story, halfway through the story, it doesn't jump into another irrelevant story that leaves you wondering how the hell did that get there? I was talking, and this reminds me of chapter 7, verse 157. You start reading on the 103rd verse, and you clearly see that from 103 to 160, it's dealing with Moses when he was in Egypt. And all of a sudden, Muslims want me to believe that 157 is a prophecy about Muhammad.
And this is where, I mean, there's so much that I would say the average Muslim, they won't read. This is where I say there's a huge lack in scholarship in not just the Islamic community, but the Middle Eastern community, I'm going to say, or Arabic communities. They have a whole different concept of Arabic. Of scholarship. There is I've been cited in Islamic sources. I should say, quote, scholarly sources, and they cite me. Well, the funny thing is, when they cite me, they don't put down anything I wrote. They just put me as a footnote, and that is a lack of scholarship. They're afraid to quote from me. So why do I keep appearing in these sources? Well, because they think, oh, I can show that I've looked at another opinion. No, you didn't. If you actually read what I said, you would probably be leaving to find the truth. I find it shocking, the difference in the concept of scholarship. But again, it's your choice. I'm just going to leave that out there. Just make a choice to find out what's true. That's all you really have to do. And I think you'll find it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we're going to call this a night. We basically did what, 3 hours today, 1 hour for the other series, and then this one.
Well done.
Ed, thank you for coming. Repent, good to see you. Darcy, everybody that's on the chat, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Anytime. Just make sure you get in before the 6 slots are taken up, because maybe one day I'll start making some money, and then I can move up to 10 slots. And then I can have two cameras, and I can make somebody a mod, an admin, or whatever. Paul, as always, we'll do it again tomorrow at 6.
All right.
Yeah,
when you send me the
I'll
send me the link early, and I'll send it off to Usama.
Hopefully Osama will make it.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's end the broadcast, and let's see, end the broadcast.